How's it going, everyone? Session here. Welcome to Dead by Daylight, the official developer update for me. I know we're a few days behind. I'm sorry, I was doing things, but I'm here. Okay, so checking it out. We're heading into our ninth year alongside a brand new chapter coming in the update 8.0. I also did see the trailer, so we'll look at that as well in a separate scenario. Anyways, we prepared a large number of balance changes and quality life improvements for existing content. As always, these adjustments will head to the PTB shortly, where we'll collect feedback and make some tweaks where necessary before the update releases on all platforms. Good guy. Okay. Medium update. Ooh. They decreased the Heidi Ho cooldown to 12 seconds from 18. He can only scamper while performing slice and dice. Interesting. And decrease the time it takes to scamper to 1.3 from 1.4. Ooh, okay. Scamper could sometimes lead to unavoidable hits and survivors could not possibly get someplace safe in the time it took for Turkey to crawl under the pallet. We want to shift this gameplay away from these easy hits, scamper then basic attack. Instead, encourage using his unique slice and dice attack. Oh, that's actually fair. Okay. Since change would affect his strength, we reduce the cooldown of Slice and Dice to allow Chucky to use his power much more frequently. So this is overall a nerf because the fact that he can only use it while doing Slice and Dice, okay, not bad. I mean, decreasing the cooldown is definitely necessary because then he would actually spend a lot of time just kind of chasing normally, whatever. So we'll see. I feel like though, despite it only being usable during Slice and Dice, it's it's gonna be strong, well, at least stronger, but it might need like a small like baby, like meet in the middle, like 15 kind of thing. But we'll have to wait and see until we actually like get our hands on that PTV. So not bad. Overall though, nerf on Chucky. Okay. Cannibal increased chainsaw speed. Minor update by the way. Duration to 2.5 from 2 seconds per token. The movement speed increased to 5.35 from 5.29. Okay. Decrease the collision detection size to help navigate those tight spaces. Fair. And the base tangent to 3 seconds from 5, and several add-ons. Okay. So to reduce cannibal dependence on dependence, wow, that's a weird word. On certain add-ons, we've taken part of the effect of the most popular add-ons and incorporated them into his base kit and toned down the add-ons to compensate. This way, he'll feel less essential and allow you to experiment um, with other options. Cool. We've also reduced the size of the chainsaw's collision detection against the environment to make it less likely to bump into things that aren't directly in front of you to make it easier to use his power in tight spaces and reduce tension duration in case you still bump into something. So yeah, overall, minor update, but a buff nonetheless. I understand it though because definitely there's moments when you're playing as Cannibal where you'll like swing your camera when you're in the middle of like using your tantrum and you'll just hit a rock and then you just gotta sit there and go nuts. So I kind of get it. Not bad though, but change nonetheless. Deathslinger decreases stun time when a survivor breaks free to 2 seconds from 3. Okay. Increase the real speed to 276 instead of 26, and increase movement speed while reloading to 3.08 from 264. Dang, okay. Every second counts. We made some tweaks to save the Deathlinger some time when reeling in survivors and when they break free. We also increase his movement speed while reloading so he doesn't have as much distance lost in the process. Okay, another buff to Deathlinger. Not that he needs it, but I can understand it. That's like fine. It's not like too bad though. So but like he also does still, you know what, the biggest here's the thing, if you're just like pressing W versus Deathslinger and you break the chain thing, um it's not that bad. But like this will make it easier for him for sure. It's when you actually have to it's when you do like a certain perk loadout change kind of thing. I've noticed it, like if I go up against Sling and I break the chain and then I vault with like Lied, I'm gone. Like this, there's no way he catches up. It's actually kind of funny. So I can understand him also needing a buff in like that scenario, but he'll definitely be very strong. You're kind of required now to like, you know, uh, put obstacles in between you and him so that while he's reloading, his potential chance of aiming at you is a little bit trickier, but still something that to keep in mind of. So not bad, good buff. Mastermind decreased the hinder penalty from infection to 4% from 8. They cut it in half. Okay, infection is now reduced to 1% when hooked. It was 50. Okay. On top of virtually bound being a strong chase power to begin with, infected survivors also suffer from severe movement speed penalty. It reduces to 4%, still significant, but not a death sentence, which is fair actually. Getting max hindered from Wesker, there's nothing you can do because what they end up doing instead of like just catching you with the bound, they just get close to you and then they'll finish the animation of the Ouroboros going back in the arm, and then they can just catch. He can just catch you. Like it doesn't really matter. So It's crazy, actually. We also looked further into reduced survivors infection when hooked to make tunneling. Chasing them as students are unhooked. Less of an obvious choice. Oh, I see. Um, I mean, I guess I don't really see. So I don't really see Weskers honestly frequently going after tunnel or people like that. I mean, maybe it depends on the person, but I don't really see it often. I usually see them. What they'll do is like they'll get the person who's unhooking, and then they'll get the bound to get the hit on that person, and then get the deep wound on the person that just got unhooked. A cheeky play, but definitely something that they do. So I kind of get it. Blight. Minor update. Compound 33 not increased rust turn rate and duration by 11%. It was 33. Okay. Iridescent Blight tag not increased rust by 10%. It was 20. Oh, that's kind of a. Okay. The Blight's ultra rare add ons have proven to be too strong, so we toned them both down to be a more reasonable level. I mean, that's not really going to change the Blight at all. He's still going to be like numbered. He's just like the best killer, second to like the nurse. You know what I mean? I'd even wager like Spirit, but like people, it's kind of like a question mark in the air kind of ordeal. Anyways, nerf to Blight, not too bad, but it's not going to matter. Toolboxes, minor update. They increased toolbox sabotage speed across most variants. And they increase the effects of it with related add-ons as well. Okay. Toolboxes are often considered the repair item. While this is fine for those who want to use the item to repair, we'd like to make it sure that sabotage feels like a viable alternative for those who want it. You know, I understand that because the toolboxes that increase the sabotage speed but have like no charges doesn't feel good. That's the first part. And the in an ideal case scenario, the toolbox that has just the most charges is just the best one. You know what I mean? So they gotta. I kind of get that. Not a bad not a bad buff. Honestly, it's like fine. People don't frequently sabotage. You kind of have those groups that like sometimes do it, but they still kind of rely on the flashlight over the toolbox. So at least this is like a secondary option. Also, especially if you're like not bringing sabotage, so not bad for toolboxes. I mean, I'm cool with it. It doesn't matter to me. I'm the repair guy. You know, I'm not the sabotager, but having the option is just nice because I refuse to sabotage with the toolbox that I'm using to repair. But if I want to use it and not like lose a lot from it, then I can. So this is nice. This update features balance changes to the section of the most strongest and most frustrating perks to face. The majority of these adjustments are slight, but the intention is to keep the perks feeling effective and to bring them more in line with other options. So Deadlock got a minor update. Decreased the block duration to 25 seconds from 30, assuming level 3. Okay. Deadlock is quite effective while being rather easy to activate. We slightly reduce duration, the generated blocker, to bring it in line with other options. Okay, so they nerfed Deadlock. It's not really gonna matter, but okay, sure. Background player, medium update. Ooh, decrease the movement speed bonus to 150 from 200. And they decrease exhaustion duration to 20 seconds from 40. Oh, okay. Background player's high movement speed allows artists to cross extreme distances to make a save. There was no way for the killer to reasonably check that area, let alone defend against it. We have reduced movement speed and instead it reduced the exhaustion duration to compensate. This will make it harder to get a save, but allow you to make the attempts more often. You know what's funny is that I feel like it's it's kind of a rework. I guess also like technically a nerf. But to cut the time of use in half is definitely far from it being a nerf. Um it's just super convenient when it is 200 speed, but you really it's really going to be crazy. Like that perk is still going to be frequently used and it's going to be very strong. So that's not it's a change. It's a medium change. It's technically a nerf like slash rework, but it's still going to be really good. So that's cool. Grim Embrace. Okay. Decrease the block duration to 10 seconds from 12. Okay. This is actually fair because ever since they reworked it, that perk has been everywhere. So, Grim Embrace has quickly risen in both strength and popularity since it was last changed. We have similarly toned it down slightly to move it into a more balanced range while keeping it rewarding for killers who choose to switch targets. It's not bad. So, small nerf, baby nerf, but not too bad. 2 seconds is like fine. Decisive Strike, minor update. Reduce the stun duration to 4 seconds from 5. They keep on. It's so funny how often they keep on changing this timer. So 5 seconds is too long. 4 seconds is not long enough. Like they can't put it in the middle. It's kind of complicated. The perk, honestly, at this point, just needs like a not a rework, but it's like it just exists. It's a weird perk. So Our last update increased to 5. It was a little too effective, so they put it back down to 4 instead. Yeah, crazy. Anyways, pop goes the weasel. Minor update decreased the regression effect to 20% from 30. Okay. Pop was proven to be very strong, and the conditions to activate it aren't very difficult. To better reflect how it often comes into play, we reduce the strength of its regression effect, which is fair because it already has like a, there already is like the natural pop, so it's just like an additive. But pop is still pretty cracked. I've seen a lot of people still using it, so I get it though. But it's what's the good thing too, at least about it, and to a small degree, is that it's gonna be fine because also they changed that the way how you like regain the regression for the generator for it to like cancel out kind of thing. So pop, it's not like a needed nerf, but it just makes sense considering what it is. So like it's like fine. Buckle up, major update. Okay, buckle up no longer provides endurance. Uh-oh. Okay. Instead, survivors healed from the dying state break into a sprint and 150 movement speed for 5 seconds. This does not cause exhaustion. Oh, so you can't like for the people combo no more with buckle up and then get like the double endurance? That's gonna be problematic. Buckle up could be problematic when paired with for the people, allowing survivors to save each other before the killer can pick them up risk-free. Since there's a lot of competition between perks which guarantee survivors endurance from the dying state, we had to replace the effect entirely to help it stand out. Now Buckle Up will instead grant a heal survivor a speed boost, but not protect the rescuer from harm. Yeah, that's such a weird change. Not that I mean, don't get me wrong, Buckle Up for the people was taking over quite harshly. There is also a discovered um like infinite loop, I think, using buckle up. What is it? The buckle up, boil over, uh, for the people, and that one Jonah totem, boon totem. Basically, you just like infinitely put a person in the corner in the Stranger Things map and like Hawkins, and there's like that one room with the stairwell, and you can like vault over to get into the stairs, and then there's like that room you can basically just infinitely you can perma keep a killer there with 3 people. So like one person just goes repairs everything, the other 3 just keep the killer in an infinite loop. It's impossible, not impossible, but them escaping it is like horrendous because like you either leave them all alone, they all get up, or you keep on trying to outwit their that maneuverability, but it's complicated. So the only way you can fix it is by going to find the totem, but finding the boon totem is complicated. Anyways, whole random side topic. Buckle Up getting a sprint burst is not like they kind of, it's weird honestly for them to remove it as like an endurance perk, but then to make it like a sprint burst thing isn't really my favorite. If anything, what they should do is give both survivors that power, like the person who gets picked up and the person who does the healing, because um like speed killer, like, okay, not that they killed buckle up, but like a lot of speed and like mobility killers are like they're not going to care about the change for this ability or this perk rather. So it's not really that good of a it's a weird change. To give a sprint burst on a heal is like not good. um it needs more than just a sprint burst after a pickup, because also it doesn't cause exhaustion. My recommendation in this case scenario is to also hide their scratch marks. That's also that they should just do that. If all you have to add to that is that their scratch marks get hidden, that's it. You can make this perk pretty decent, honestly. um because visually in open maps, like it's hard to avoid that situation with scratch marks involved, but at least you just have a getaway option for both people, but it doesn't like keep the killer on like a wild goose chase for 2 survivors, you know what I mean? So like the person who gets to pick up on buckle up gets nothing out of it anymore. Like this perk is not going to be run at all anymore because there's just no reason to run it. So especially if you just heal them up sort of thing. Either you add like a no scratch marks thing. I would even add like a no sound thing. I don't know. Like make it just like a quiet perk, like a pickup thing with like it'd be pretty decent actually. Or the it becomes like a heal perk sort of where um I don't actually know. Like if they get the heal and they get the pickup, then they the person who does the pickup, the next person that they heal is like at a faster rate for like a time period, something like that. I don't know. I mean, Buckle Up getting this massive rework is like interesting, but I get it. They're fixing that problematic issue with for the people because of that discovery was insane. But I don't know. This perk is, uh, in my personal opinion, it's dead now because no one is going to use it for that reason alone. Like no one. There's no way. But we'll see. Pain res. Okay, minor update. Decreased the regression effect to 20% from 25. Okay, so Pain res finds itself in almost 40% of all loadouts and it's one of the most effective perks in the game. It makes perks less of a clear choice for all builds, but keep it rewarding for killers who choose to chase multiple survivors. So, okay, I mean sure, but whatever. Invocation weaving spiders. Okay, Sable perk. Medium updates. Decrease the invocation time to 60 seconds from 120. That's actually fair. I tried that perk. Um like it's not terrible. It's not incredible though. If I had to get like a tier list letter for it, I'd say it's like a C plus, like a B minus. Uh this at least that 60-second change will make it like a B plus maybe, but like it could also just be a B. So it depends. The invocation progress now regressed at the rate of 1 charge per second to 20 per second. Oh, that's not bad actually. Okay. I actually don't mind that. That's cool. Dev note, now that we've had some time to see how the invocation mechanic plays out, we're ready to make some adjustments to both the invocation process and to the future invocation perks and weaving spiders itself. So, invocations are meant to be a time commitment, but they took a little longer than we'd like. We reduced them to 6 seconds to benefit the flow of the match. This can be further sped up by cooperating with other survivors. They have also slowed the regression rate to give survivors a chance to return and save some of their progress after they're chased away. These changes will be consistent among future invocation perks. So, it was weird because 120, like here's the thing, if you had 4 survivors doing it all together, like it was fine, but it still took like a little too long, at least like, because here's the problem too with invocation. It's currently one of those perks that like you either have a team run it and they kind of like cooperate together to work on it, or you have the person solo do it. So to be a solo player and to do 2 minutes worth of what could be gen repair, um just to kind of decrease the overall gen completion rate for all remaining gens kind of thing, you know what I mean? So it was like, it was not, it was weird, but to cut the time in half is nice because honestly the caveat to that perk is pretty drastic, all things considered. So uh so there you go. Not bad. This is a pretty decent update though. Like I said, this was already like a B minus perk. I would give it a B plus, but I think like it could be much better if you had multiple people running it, but the caveat to that is kind of strong. So it's now officially like a pretty good solo perk, maybe even a duo perk. So we'll see. We'll have to like wait and see what they kind of incorporate in the future with other invocation perks, because we're clearly going to get another survivor who has the ability to do invocations. So that'd be cool. All right. Decimated Borgo minor update. They reworked the lighting of the Shattered Square map. Ooh, you know what? I'm not gonna lie to you. This looks cool. I have 3 issues with it though. One, um, the other variation of the lighting for Borgo, even though people were kind of like, "Oh my god, it's too red," that variation is just gone forever. And personally, I don't like when they take things out and never have it like, I wish like if they just take things out of like the standard gameplay on like the, you search and matchmaking whatever, at least put it in like custom games, because having that option is just nice. So because the file still exists, they just, you know put it in the back end and then it's just there. So I personally would like it if they actually allowed, because I kind of miss, I like playing the red version, but having this version is also nice, but the other version is also nice. So now that we only have this version, it's kind of like, man, now I'm gonna miss the old version. But I understand people were really like struggling to deal with the redness of it because of the, scratch marks and auras was like a lot, and it was hard to see things and all that fun jazz. So I get it. This is not bad though. So the red tinted lighting in Shadow Square map can make it difficult to see scratch mark auras and pools of blood, especially for colorblind players. So they completely changed lighting on the map to address the concerns. So that's cool. Item previews. They reworked the pop up for items within a trial. Ooh. Oh, I like that. That's cool. I actually I can address this is definitely for new players. Like there's sometimes like you don't really know what in the you know what's insane actually as well, sidebar conversation. The fact that the tutorial there should be a tutorial for every single perk, every single item, and every single tool that you use against the killer. Because like the complicated part about this is that like now I'm grateful that they added this as like a thing. However, the fact that you have to go into a match to just like only see it in the event that you're going up against that killer, not my favorite. Because like for me, if I go up against a killer and I have no idea who the killer is, or it's like my first time playing up against them, you know, they give you the little tutorial in like in the loading screen, but I still don't know what that means, you know. At least I can get like a little sidebar tutorial versus a killer or like versus a tool or like an item, and then just have this take into effect. That would be incredible. So, but this is like a niche. This is like a pretty decent W though. So the existing pop-ups for items were minimal, showing only the items icon and remaining charges. This relied on players knowing all the details of each item. With a growing number of killer-specific items, this is getting harder to do. So now when you purchase an item, you'll see a brief description on what the item does. I guarantee you too, I'm not going to lie to you, I guarantee you that the text for this, it should just stay until you pick the item up. It's probably going to just disappear like in 3 or 4 seconds. Just so, then as if you have that much time to read what that says. You know what I mean? So not bad, but they still got to work on that. And we have plenty more surprises in store for the upcoming year. Be sure to tune to our anniversary broadcast on the 14th, which is technically on Tuesday, for more exciting details, new features, next chapter, and more. So check out the YouTube when you can. So overall, not bad. I'm pretty intrigued by the majority of these changes. Weaving Spiders is a good change. Buckle Up is like a little bit of an L, but not that it needed to be changed, but this reworking it into this kind of perk is not good. It needs a little bit more umph than what this is, especially because only the person who gets picked up is got that speed boost. So pop decrease not bad. Deadlock or background and deadlock not bad. Toolbox change is cool actually. I kind of appreciate that. The killer changes is a kind of it makes sense too. So overall, here you go. You got the minor changes with the 4 killers here in the map. You got the change add-ons over here, right? The sabotage speed, and then the add-ons actually increasing the speed to sabotage as well as taking longer time to respond. You got a bunch of the killer perks here, and then DS the survivor perk getting a minor change, while you got some two decent medium changes for survivor perks, and then the major rework over here. So all in all, not bad. Tune in on Tuesday. We'll be back and we're going to check out what that update looks like. I'm looking forward to it. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the future for the next major Dead by Daylight news. So take care.